Okay, so let me just share the spotlight with this. Okay. Thank you very much for your patience. So this is the icing on the cake. So we have this original play that was co-written, an idea concept between myself, Leah Nicholson, and Evans, Yellow Old Woman. And we have the privilege of getting the original stories from Elder Treffitt Foot, and it was written by Leah Nicholson, and then with collaboration with some other artists. So this is the story of creation, and I want you to sit down, tight, and relax, and soak in the message of the story. Thank you very much for your patience.
This is a tale of enlightenment.
Of a traveler whose origin tale has been lost.
With the passing of the druids from this world to whatever lies beyond, so too went the stories of the Celt. Never written, gone forever.
The traveler had heard and told many stories, but still felt lost.
Having no understanding of the beginning, how can one prepare for their own end?
So, facing many perils, he journeyed to distant shores, seeking the knowledge held by those who called those lands home. Over oceans deep and rivers strong, the traveler was rode along, was searching for a way to know, a path unfurled, a way to go. Along the plains in blazing sun, a blooming mountain range above. Weary from the distance trod, seeking respite from the road. Then dancing lights in distance shone, the traveler was closely drawn. The starlit skies and chants of praise pulled him to their warm embrace. A man appeared to greet him there, and in his gaze a burning light, the traveler from weary road was welcome to the man's abode.
It's too bad to be here. Mine is not, Mr. Duke. Mine is Skunataps. Mine is Bisataps. Okay, my relatives. Okay. I'm gonna tell you a story of the creator of all things, the magnificent one, who with his own body, Mother Earth, picking it up and molding it and creating forms of animals and putting it on Turtle's back. Once he was finished creating all animals on what we call Turtle Island, the otter and the buffalo, the otter and the beaver, they dive into the bottom, underneath the turtle, to the bottoms of the water, and they come back up with clay, Mother Earth, on turtle's back. The water birds dive in, and they're clamping on the seeds at the bottom of the water, bringing them up onto turtle's back, creating vegetation, a food source, nourishment for the animals that he had created. There was some dissension going on between the animals. So the Creator wanted to create someone to be the caretaker of the animals. So he gets a buffalo bone, another buffalo bone, using sinew, tying it together, putting clay on top of it, and pouring buffalo blood. Lifting him up, he wasn't breathing. 4 times with his own breath, he breathes into and creates man and stands up. And he creates a companion for him, just like all of the other animals that he created. He created companions. So he gets another buffalo bone, gets a rib from the man, ties it together, sinew, clay, buffalo blood, and again with Creator's breath. 4 times, breathing into the partner for man, creating woman to be the caretaker of the animals. Creator also created the harvesting of each of these animals to give nourishment amongst interchangeable with the animals to balance creation. This is the beautiful work of our Creator. So, in creating all of this, the Creator said to the man and the woman, you can enjoy all of these beautiful creations, but do not touch the turnip. The turnip is forbidden. So the father was out gathering, the man was out gathering, and the woman was sitting there. And the buffalo comes, the coyote comes. The coyote creeps up to the woman and tells him to harvest the turnip. The woman knows that she's forbidden to harvest that turnip. But the coyote starts to tell the woman about how beautiful the turnip looks, how delicious it looks, how ripe it looked, tempting the woman over and over. Finally, the woman gives in and bites into the turnip. The coyote takes off, being the trickster, takes off on the woman. When the woman looks down in the hole of where she harvests the turnip, she saw down to earth here. And she longed for her mother and her father. But her and the man were first creation. There was no concept of mother and father. So when the man came back, he saw his partner distressed to stop. So when the Creator appeared to them, they decided together to come down to earth by way of the Milky Way. So when we look up in the heavens, the designs of our beadwork speaks to those stars and those galaxies in the skies that we've entered this world upon. So this is the story of creation, as we see it amongst Nichita Pequot, the original people. That is our story, and I leave it here with you tonight. Okay, the matsunod siyo. Okay. Okay. Take this feather on your journey. It'll guide you and give you guidance. Hey, hey. Good job.
Through storms across the sea again, near misty jungle, boat made land. The mangrove trees move, winds whisper an ancient song. On winding river further on, the water deep, the current is strong. Past waterfalls, the forest tall, the animals graze, rustle, call. The branches thick blot out the sun, their twisted limbs are hid above. In mid-distance, the sunlight shine, patch of light near snarled maw. And bathed in light she appeared, with wisdom held throughout the years, and beckoning the traveler near. The light shines strong, the drum beat clear.
Things were formless, as if looking into the mist, when you can't see what anything is. It was desolate, empty, only water and marshland. And there was nothing but the sound of water and breeze whistling. The land was covered in darkness. Then a voice came, the voice of a deity, low and rhythmic, that said, "Light be." And the veil opened and there was light. And then the gods began to speak. The chief god Oloro, who ruled the sky, and the goddess Oloko ruled below. Oloro was approached by Obatola, who wanted to create dry lands for the creatures living below. He gave his permission. Obatola went to Oloro's oldest son, Orumila, the god of prophecy, for help with this task. Orumila told Obatola to create a gold chain, long enough to reach below. And inside a bag, he must place a sand-filled snail shell, a white hen, a black cat, and a palm nut. When Obatola had collected gold from the other gods, Orunmila supplied him with a bag and he was ready. He hung the chain from the sky and climbed down the chain, the bag strapped on his back. Orunmila reached the end of the chain, but had not reached a place to land. It was then that he heard the voice of Orunmila from above. He told him to pour the sand and release the hen. When he did, the sand formed dry lands, and the hen scattered the sand over all, creating hills and valleys, mountains and cliffs. Obatola landed on a hill and called it Ife. In the sand, he planted the palm nut. It grew instantly and dropped more nuts, and those grew on, and it went. Obatola sat in the shade with his cat, his companion. Obatola grew lonely and wanted beings like himself to keep him company. So he dug down in the sand and found clay. With the clay, he molded the beings like himself. He quickly grew tired. He drank wine from the palm tree and became drunk. He returned to creating his beings, but they were imperfect. Obatola didn't realize this when he called Olorun to breathe life into his creatures. The people can now touch, move, feel. They can see their bodies, their arms. They began to explore the world around them. The mountains, the seas, the valleys and the marshes. They began to know the animals and tend and care for them. Upon waking from his drink and choose to sleep, Obatola realized what he had done and vowed never to drink again, and that he would take care of all those he created, imperfect as they were. The people built shelters, grew food, built a life for themselves. Ife was a great place. All the gods visited it often, all except Olokun, who was unhappy she had not been consulted by Obatola about what he was to build. When Olokun went to visit the sky, Obatola called for the great waves of the ocean to overrun the land, washing away much of what Olokun created, including those he made in his image. Those that survived on highland called to Eshu, who had been waiting from the sky to return home and get them help. Eshu agreed on the condition that they performed a sacrifice to him and Obatola. So the people sacrificed goats, and Eshu went to deliver their message. Upon hearing of the peril of those living on the land below, Orunmila climbed down the chain and cast spells that made the flood waters retreat and bringing back the dry land. That ended the great flood, and those below began to rebuild.
Upon the sea to sail once more, find meaning on distant shores. Then came a storm, the winds grew strong, all dashed on cross, couldn't sail no more. Across the sand, the figure stood, a long white robe with gathered hood, and calling out to draw them near, causing them to disappear. remembering why he left these lands, his origin till lost to the lands, blown away with winds of time, no lessons learned, stories to find. The traveler knew what to do. He'd share his tales, share all he knew, in searching out the tales of yore. Found his beginning in his ending. A tale for those who've lost their way, lost connection, lost their place. No longer feel ancestors call, know where we